Every day I pretend I am fine. I wake up, get dressed, answer messages, smile at people, and move through the hours as though nothing inside me has changed. I laugh when others laugh. I speak when spoken to. I tell everyone that life is moving forward and that I am learning to accept things exactly as they are. But the truth is much different. The truth is that I still look for you in everything. I look for you in songs I never used to notice. I search for your voice between the lyrics and the melodies, hoping that somehow one line will explain why you left such a permanent mark on my soul. I look for you in crowded streets, every time someone walks past wearing your favorite color. My heart pauses for a second, every time I hear laughter that sounds even slightly like yours. I instinctively turn my head, every time my phone vibrates unexpectedly. There is still a small, foolish part of me that wonders if maybe it is you. People think healing happens quickly. They believe that once enough days pass, memories become lighter. They say time fixes everything. But no one talks about the strange moments that appear without warning. No one talks about seeing someone with your hairstyle at a coffee shop and suddenly forgetting how to breathe. No one talks about hearing a phrase you used to say and feeling your entire chest tighten. No one talks about walking into a store and smelling a familiar perfume that instantly takes you back to a moment you thought you had already survived. I pretend I am okay because it is easier than explaining that some people do not simply leave. Some people stay, not physically, not in photographs, not in conversations, but in tiny fragments scattered throughout an ordinary life. You became part of my mornings, part of my evenings, part of my favorite movies, part of my dreams, part of the silence I sit with when the world finally goes to sleep. I wonder if you know that. I wonder if you realize how deeply someone can remain inside another person's heart long after they have stopped being present. There are days when I convince myself that I am finally moving on, days when I spend hours without thinking about you. Days when I genuinely feel happy, days when I smile because something wonderful happened and your name never crosses my mind. Then suddenly, without warning, I see a place we once talked about visiting, or I hear a song we once shared, or I remember the way your eyes softened whenever you were truly happy. And just like that, every wall I spent months building begins to crack. I remember conversations that lasted until sunrise. I remember waiting for your messages. I remember feeling excited simply because your name appeared on my screen. I remember how natural everything felt, how easy it was to imagine a future, how simple it seemed to believe that some connections were meant to last forever. Maybe that was my mistake. Maybe I loved with too much certainty. Maybe I trusted promises that were never intended to become permanent. Maybe I built a home inside words that were only passing through. But even now, despite everything, I cannot bring myself to regret loving you. Because loving you taught me things I never understood before. It taught me how vulnerable a heart can become. It taught me that people have the power to change someone's entire world without even realizing it taught me that missing someone is not always loud. Sometimes it is quiet. Sometimes it is sitting alone and wondering what they are doing at that exact moment. Sometimes it is hearing good news and instinctively wanting to tell them first. Sometimes it is finding something funny and realizing you no longer have the person who would have laughed the hardest. Sometimes it is simply existing while carrying an invisible weight nobody else can see. People ask why certain memories remain so strong. I think it is because memories are attached to emotions, and emotions do not disappear just because circumstances change. You can delete messages. You can remove photographs. You can avoid certain places. You can stop mentioning someone's name, but you cannot force your heart to forget what once made it feel alive. There were nights when I stayed awake wondering if you ever think about me. Do you ever hear a song and remember our conversations? Do you ever visit a place and suddenly feel nostalgic? Do you ever miss me? Or was I only a chapter while you became an entire book for me? These questions may never have answers, and perhaps that is one of the hardest parts. Learning to live with unanswered questions. Learning to accept that closure does not always arrive. Learning to understand that sometimes people leave without explanations. Sometimes they disappear carrying pieces of us that we never get back. I tried replacing memories with distractions. I watched new movies. I traveled to unfamiliar places. I met new people. I started hobbies. I focused on goals. I smiled more. I worked harder. I kept telling myself that eventually your absence would stop feeling so significant. And in some ways, it has. I no longer cry the way I used to. I no longer reread old conversations every night. I no longer wait for impossible messages. I no longer imagine dramatic reunions. But I still notice things. I still compare certain smiles to yours. I still remember your favorite foods. I still think about how excited you became when discussing things you loved. I still remember the dreams you shared. I still remember the version of myself that existed when you were around. Perhaps that is what I miss most. Not only you, but the person I was with you. I miss feeling hopeful. I miss believing that affection alone could overcome every obstacle. I miss feeling chosen. I miss feeling important. I miss feeling understood. And maybe that is why moving forward has been difficult, because losing someone is not only losing them, it is also losing routines, expectations, plans, inside jokes, comfort, certainty, and sometimes even parts of your identity. People eventually stop asking if you are okay. They assume enough time has passed. They assume you are healed. They assume silence means peace. But silence often means adaptation. It means learning how to carry sadness without letting it control your entire life. It means becoming skilled at hiding pain behind ordinary conversations. It means understanding that healing does not always look dramatic. Sometimes healing is simply surviving another day. Sometimes healing means smiling despite feeling empty. Sometimes healing means choosing not to send a message. Sometimes healing means resisting the urge to revisit old memories. Sometimes healing means accepting that love can exist even when people no longer belong together. I used to believe forgetting someone was necessary. Now I think differently. I do not believe we are meant to erase people who genuinely mattered. I believe we are meant to remember them differently, to remember without breaking apart, to remember without wishing for impossible outcomes, to remember with gratitude instead of desperation. I am trying to reach that place. A place where your memory feels warm instead of painful. A place where I can hear your favorite song and smile instead of feeling devastated. A place where I can speak your name without experiencing an ache in my chest. A place where I can appreciate what we had while also accepting what we lost. Maybe I am not there yet. Maybe I still have a long journey ahead. Maybe there will still be mornings when I wake up thinking about you. Maybe there will still be evenings when loneliness whispers your name. Maybe there will still be random moments when I search for you in strangers. But I am learning that missing someone does not mean I should stop living. I am learning that love does not become meaningless simply because it ended. I am learning that people can leave beautiful memories behind even when they also leave heartbreak. And I am learning that one day, perhaps sooner than I expect, I will think about you and feel peace. Until then, I will continue pretending less and healing more. I will continue allowing myself to remember. I will continue allowing myself to feel. Because denying emotions only makes them stronger. And although I still look for you in everything, I am slowly beginning to look for myself. Again, I am rediscovering hobbies I abandoned. I am reconnecting with dreams I postponed. I am rebuilding confidence that disappeared when everything changed. I am becoming familiar with solitude. I am understanding that being alone does not automatically mean being incomplete. Some nights remain difficult. Some memories remain powerful. Some wounds remain sensitive. But wounds are not evidence of weakness. They are evidence that something mattered, that someone mattered, that love once existed sincerely, and sincere love never completely vanishes. It changes, it softens, it transforms into lessons, into wisdom, into quiet appreciation, into strength, perhaps somewhere. In another city, another house, another chapter of life, you are smiling. Perhaps you have found happiness. Perhaps you rarely think about me anymore. And although accepting that possibility hurts, I genuinely hope you are well. I hope you laugh often. I hope your dreams come true. I hope you are surrounded by people who cherish you. I hope life is gentle with you. And I hope that if you ever remember me, you remember someone who loved deeply, cared sincerely, and wished nothing but goodness for you. As for me, I will keep moving forward, slowly, to be